I thought I'd do a quick video just reviewing a piece of software I got from Amazon a few weeks ago. It's called the DSA 3 test for car drivers. It's the brand new one, 2011, so it's brand new. So if I just clicked open, you're given like a copyright notice straight away. Hopefully I'm not impinging on that. And then obviously there's all these different things that can help you with your theory tests. So for example, let's say revise for your test. What I did anyway, I read topics. I think there's 14 topics here. You click on one of them, read about a topic, and then you press go. And then unfortunately there's quite a lot of reading. You have to read all of this, and then obviously there's 13 other topics. And then I didn't press revise this topic. I pressed try a case study for each one I did.
James has a 2-hour drive to make on a motorway.
So obviously, if you're dyslexic, there's a voice, a thing that plays it back in a human voice in case you can't really read properly. And then obviously, this is exactly what it was like when I took my test. So it's exactly the same icons, the exact same format and font and everything like that. So it's really good to revise for the test because it's you know exactly what's coming up. So if I just do this one, this is basically exactly what it was like in the test. It's quite a short paragraph. You have to read about a case study. It's about, what is it about? It's about someone beginning to be drowsy because he's taken a cold remedy. If you read it, and usually it's four multiple choices. Sorry, there's 5 questions. You have to choose one. Sometimes there's 5 options. If it's that, then it's usually 2 questions you have to answer. So if I do this one, what information should James check on medication? What's this? Go away. It's usually information about the medicine because you don't want to get drowsy behind the wheel. So then it tells you you've got the correct response. Then you go on to the next question. So then you can either go back to the main menu, so yes, and then choose a different case study for each of the different topics, which is very good. Or if you want to, what I read all through them. I did one case study for each of them, and then I pressed revise topic. So you click on alertness, press go, and then it gives you how many questions there are on each of those topics. So there's 37 questions here. I think there might be more than on the other ones. So you can even save it as well. So so if I go into other types of vehicle, press go. Alright, so obviously how many max questions there are. So for example here there's 27. On another one there might be 40 or 50 depending on how difficult the topic is. Yes. And then after I revised them all, I mean it's not, obviously you have to do quite a lot of, you have to have a good amount of concentration because obviously there's quite a lot of writing to read. It's not too bad. I just did it over several days. And then what did I do? And then after you did that, I took a customized test, so you can even choose how many different options you want to. So if say you're bad on alertness, safety in your vehicle, other types of vehicle, and say documents, you press that, press go, and it gives you 50 questions, and then you obviously you can answer them just on those 4 topics or how many topics you chose. I think you have to choose a minimum of 2, and then obviously a max of all of them. So what does the term blind spot mean for a driver? It means an area not covered by your mirrors. And then after every one, you can ask it to explain, the reason why. And you can go on the next question, and every time you click on one, you have to, check answer to make sure it's correct. So it's good in that respect as well, so you get an immediate response to see if you're correct or not. And then you can also analyse it. So, it's the 3rd of June today, but I took my test a week ago, and I used about 3 or 4 days to revise, and I got 50 out of 50 on the multiple choice bit, which I was pretty happy about. But I mean, it really isn't that difficult to get a high mark if you revise all of the topics and make sure you understand them. So I took about I took about 12, 13 mock tests between in a 3 or 4 day period. I only failed on the first one. That was when I just wanted to see how many I could get without revising at all. So you can even see, you know, I started off quite low, 43, 45, 46, and then by then I was getting 50, 49 and stuff. So you know, it really does help. And then you can even it even tells you, you know, what topics you are very good at. So for example, I got 100% on other types of vehicles and safety margins, but red means obviously you fail, because I think 80% is the pass rate. It's 43 out of 50, so it's 86% is the pass rate. So obviously I would fail on this one, red. Obviously I'm not really sure why I would have failed on that, because it's it's 43 out of 50 or 86%. Maybe, you know, just because it's a mock now. But you know, anything below 80 you get a red bar. So for example, I'm not very good in documents or vehicle loading. I only got 11 out of 14. So you know, you can even then say, okay, I need to do a bit more revision on documents and vehicle loading. And obviously those were full ones, full tests, and these are just the custom tests. So again, I'm not very good at documents. I'm not very good at road and traffic signs. So I need to revise a bit more on those. So yeah, it's a really good piece of software. It even gives you the highway code. I probably would advise looking at the highway code just to make sure you've got everything right. But I mean, it's very, very long. It's, you know, 20 or 30 topics. And I mean, all the stuff you need to, obviously, you know, it's quite good in that it's got pictures and, you know, quite obvious, you know, red rules kind of thing, and arrows to show, you know, visually what's wrong or what's right. But, you know, this is just one topic out of 20, and it's very, very long. So while I probably would, you know, read a bit of it, I didn't really use it that much. I just used the actual software itself, and you know, I did well. I also forgot that you also get a free DVD with this thing from Amazon, the official theory test help kind of thing, because the actual theory test doesn't just include a multiple choice test. It also includes a vehicle perception hazard test. So you have to sit through 14 different videos and click when you think a hazard's going to occur, so maybe a car's going to pull out or something like that. And it does actually include a few videos of, you know, a driver driving through town, for example, with lots of hazards occurring, so you can, you know, work out when the hazard is, so it'll be good revision for the actual thing. And also, this is, because it's the official one, I wouldn't suggest, if there is any anyway, getting an unofficial one, because since this is official, it actually gives the actual test questions. I'm not sure if people realise that, but some of these questions, like, you know, I did about 10 tests over 3 or 4 days, and in the actual test I had last week, probably about 20 or so of the questions I'd already answered in here. Obviously, you know, you might get a higher or lower amount, but I was really happy because, you know, I'd already answered them, so I already knew the question before I even began. So, you know, make sure you do a few of these at least, because you will get at least a couple, even if you only do 1 or 2 of the questions you get in here on the actual test itself. So, you know, it's very good. I really would recommend it, and it's only like £8 or £9. So I'd rather pay, you know, £8 or £9 for a piece of software than pay, you know, because I think the test itself is something like £40 for a theory test a time, or £30. So I'd rather pay an extra 8 or 9 and get and pass first time than not, and then, you know, maybe fail it and have to pay 30 quid again. So yeah, any comments, or, you know, if you want me to answer any more questions, then yeah, I'll be happy to. So that's it really.